Opinion: Trump's $16 billion farm bailout means you're paying for his tariff war twice. Well, say this for President Trump: when he misunderstands something, he misunderstands it more than anyone else in creation. Take the business of tariffs. Trump is unshaken. Just so you understand, he said, these tariffs are paid for largely by China. A lot of people, well, the people who say that are economists and other experts who have done the math, and found that the tariffs Trump has imposed on imports from China cost American consumers $68.8 billion last year, though some of that spending got funneled back to some domestic producers in the form of higher prices which their customers, of course, paid. But our main topic here is that $16 billion bailout, and what it says about who pays for Trump's trade war and how much. The newly announced, as Jordan Weissman observes in Slate, the $28 billion total is about what the U.S. spent last school year on Pell Grants for college students. That raises doubts. To get a sense of where these expenses fall, it's worthwhile to follow the money. The $60, the money is paid by importers to the U.S. government, which can redistribute it to the direct victims of the trade war, such as farmers, if it wishes. But that's a narrow related video. Trump pledges $16 to farmers hurt by trade war provided by USA Today. It doesn't help collateral victims, such as the buyers of foreign-made washing machines, the median price of which rose to $835 from $749 after tariffs were imposed on the appliances at the behest of Whirlpool, a domestic manufacturer. It won't help nor are the agricultural bailouts evenly distributed within the farm sector. They're heavily as farmers are well aware, the bailouts won't compensate them for the longer-term damage to their export prospects. Soybean farmers, so U.S. consumers are paying a tax to the U.S. government in the form of higher prices for imported goods. Some of those funds, moreover, because the farm losses are due to foreign, not domestic, tariffs, no revenue at all is coming to the United States as a result. The bailouts are our Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Michael Hiltzik writes a daily blog appearing on elateams.com. His business column, copyright 2019 Los Angeles Times.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.